Hey everybody! Welcome back to Northernlion, place of Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus challenges here. We're in the Afterbirth challenges, pay to play. Spending all your money on me and spending time on me. Now I really want like a Daniel Johnston version of My Humps. Does that exist? That seems like Daniel Johnston, My Humps. It's just one of those things you gotta check. Jeff Tweedy, dramatic reading of My Humps. No! That's not what I asked for. It's just slightly wrong. Jeff Tweedy, Wilco frontman. Okay, what is pay to play? We have money equals power. We got money bag. We pay money to enter rooms. Basically, every room we enter will lower our damage. Not much, but just a little. It'll be modestly compensated for by Sack of Pennies, but Sack of Pennies only pays out once every two rooms, something like that. Hey, Tomo. Tomo, I gotta be honest with you, you've been a great cat recently. Ruka is ambitious, and I admire that in a cat, I really do. You know, it's a cat that wants more for itself in this life. It says, you know what? I don't want to sit in that box and sleep all day. Unfortunately, without being too rude, it's kind of what you signed up for by being born as that species, I suppose. Tomo, on the other hand, he's like Cypher from the Matrix, but in like a non-malevolent way. He's like, dude, you put my box on top of the desk? Thank you. I will sleep here for 12 hours a day. He understands his lot in life. And he adheres to it, and I like that. There's value in acceptance, and there's value in ambition to some extent. Tomo's like retired. Ruka's still on that grind. Both of my sons are great for two different reasons, but Tomo has been a little bit more amicable lately. Okay, range upgrade means nothing. I'm not going to the shop, by the way. There are possibly some shop items that are worth buying because they could... I mean, they're going to be expensive to purchase, but they could cancel out, you know, some of the money loss eventually. However, I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just going to, you know, hang tight here. These go to the cathedral. I'm noticing, like, all of the Afterbirth Plus challenges go, like, a little bit further than the ones from Rebirth. That's okay. Still trying to complete that relatively noble goal. If we can have no videos where we fail a challenge... Like, or I'm trying to think of a better way to phrase it. If we could have no videos where we don't succeed on a challenge through the Afterbirth Plus section, I mean, that would be a major milestone. Now, this is it's like your classic little first floor gambit or second floor gambit, you know? You got a great chance to get a deal with the devil. In order to do it, you got to beat probably like the hardest or second hardest first floor boss without getting hit at all. Can you do it? Prove that you deserve it. It's old Isaac. It's a challenge, you know, before we all sussed out that if you just got a, you know, myriad spirit hearts in advance of this floor, you had basically nothing to worry about forever. You get brimstone, you win the game. I like this. It's a classic test of skill, a battle of wills. I like it even more when I win. I think we like Book of Sin here. Because it could give us, I mean, money, of course, but moreover, it just gives us something, you know? We can use any consumable. The whole run's not about money. You know, we still have to worry about HP. Yeah, absolutely. We still have to worry about damage, tears. I mean, it's pretty good to start with, but things can change. Maybe all I need is a shot in the arm. That's right, it's a Jeff Tweedy reference. Don't think I forget about the callbacks. I keep those references. The only time, like, Tomo asks for nothing. Ruka begs non-stop. And again, Squeaky Wheel gets the grease. Because of Ruka's begging, he probably does get, you know, maybe an extra server. Well, he gets both of the cats this, because, you know, you got to treat them equally. But you might get the cats a little bit more wet food than they would otherwise get if they all just accepted their lot in life. But Tomo begs, like, once a day. He's a creature of habit. When I get into bed, he jumps up on the bed. He, like, runs up to where my face is, and he meows in my face like a squeaky door. He goes, Mwee! And then when I pet him, he just goes crazy. And I'll pet him for, you know, like 5 minutes or something like that, and then he'll just leave and go to sleep. He's like, He's evolved into for a domesticated animal, you know, he's like the platonic ideal of like a stay-at-home cat. Ruka is like, he's got character, personality, and he's trying to beat the system. I respect that in the Shawshank Redemption sort of way. Never seen the movie, don't at me. Perhaps one day I will. I hear it's very good, but I hear a lot of things are very good. You know? Gorgonzola. I hear it's a delightful cheese. I have a conspiracy theory about myself. You're not gonna like this, okay? Calling it a conspiracy theory is a little rich. But I know, because, like, people, you know, when they suspect that they're unique in dietary ways, it makes the internet very upset, and I agree with you. When people are like, you know, well, I don't have celiac, so to speak, but I live a gluten-free lifestyle because I just find myself sensitive to gluten, you know? Even though it doesn't hurt me in any way, I do go, what, you think you're, like, you're special, your body's, like, particularly weak? I don't think so. I think we're made up of roughly the same building blocks here. If you have a genuine, you know, gluten sensitive, a genuine, brain please, a genuine gluten sensitivity, of course. But if you know, if you're just like, well, I'm eating flatter bread lately. Okay, I mean, more power to you, but at the same time, I do, in my head, I'm like, you don't need to do that. But I have a real, well, let me not bury the lead. I think I might be allergic to penicillin. So I talked about it, you know, when I was talking about eating more cheeses. And I was like, when I eat blue cheese, sometimes it makes me get feverish a little bit. Like, it essentially, and people were like, hey, idiot, that's an allergic reaction. It sounds like you're, please? It sounds like you're mildly allergic to, you know, whatever bacteria is present in the cheese. On last Saturday, I had some blue cheese. I like the flavor of blue cheese, and, you know, I'm culinarily adventurous enough to not turn it down when it's past me. But you know, there were like 3 cheeses, and Kate was like, I don't like blue cheese, you should have it all. So I ate all of the blue cheese that was on the serving, which is not that much, but still. The next day, the one side of my throat was like palpably swollen. Not swollen enough that I like couldn't speak, but I was like, dude, that one side of my throat is like really sore. And then over the next couple of days, it got like a little bit better. And then I had a blue cheese in the fridge, and I was like, I should try this. And I ate some of it, and the next day, the side of my throat was really sore. And I thought about it, because, you know, whenever you have to think about, like, what you yourself did, you know, at first you're like, I'm just a little sick, you know, maybe I talked too much, and that's what led to this or whatever. I was like, holy crap, maybe it's... I Googled it, and I couldn't find anything, you know, that seems to suggest that there's some kind of precedent or anything like that. But I was like, maybe, like, I'm so allergic to whatever the blue in blue cheese is that it, like, actually causes my throat to swell up. I've heard stranger things, you know, well, not stranger things necessarily, but, you know, both Corey and Nick are allergic to apples. An allergy I had never heard of before in my entire life. And I actually think that Corey is allergic to all fruit in varying degrees. I know that sounds like one of those things that was like he invented when he was like 4 to just not have to eat fruit and eat fruit-flavored candy instead. I don't believe that that's the case, obviously. But, you know, if you can be allergic to fruit, maybe I got like a surprisingly semi-serious allergy to whatever blue bacteria or blue mold is present in blue cheese. It's a shame because, you know, that cuts off a large variety of the fromage-based palate for me. I mean, I can get down with an Emmental and a cheddar and a blah blah and a blah blah, but still, you know, to lose out on the blues. And you're always gonna have people assuming that it's just because you're like a coward, right? I don't really like blue cheese. Oh, is it because, you know, do you know that all cheese is fermented and blah blah, it really is delightful, etc. Hello, Thomas. Hello, Thomas. So what I'm saying is, if anybody wants a Shropshire Blue that has just a little bit taken out of it, I will send it right over. No, but I'm like, I started thinking, I was like, when I was a kid, whenever I would have like doctor's appointments, or if I went to like the emergency room, you know, you're like, I think I broke my toe. You go to the emergency room, they're like, does he have any allergies? I'm like, wait, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna sting me with a bee? Is that the cure for a twisted ankle or whatever? But my parents were always like, we don't know if he's allergic to penicillin, but there is a history of like penicillin allergy in the family. So like if possible, if you could give him an alternative, you know, antibiotic, that would be ideal. And I think they were like, yeah, sure, we'll never test it. And I'm like, dude, maybe. If this was a movie, me discovering that I have an allergic reaction to blue cheese may save my life. I'll be in the hospital and they'll be like, you know, quick, give him the penicillin, and I'll be like, no, give me the Gorgonzola. I'm ready. Clever, but doesn't really make sense. Anyway, that describes me in a nutshell. Help, how did I get into this nutshell, etc., etc. This run's a little spotty. We haven't really improved, except for Book of Sin, which admittedly is good. Our second deal with the devil was Book of Belial, which would occupy a very similar niche, but I don't really want to spend the HP on it because I'm worried about our... well, just living, more or less. We need that spirit heart. Okay, preserve our deal with the devil chances. I don't like the way I said HP on it. It's like I was commanding a dude named H to urinate on something. Hey, H! Pee on it. But alright, boss. Well, I never. Help. Anyway, that's Northernlion's Adventures in Cheese. You know what cheese I bought when I went to the grocery store last? I bought cheddar, okay? You know why? Because I've been eating all these weird cheeses, and you know, I like a lot of them, but sometimes I just want to eat some cheese without it being a, you know, a culinary adventure. You know, I just want it to be like, hey, I like the flavor of this cheese. So yeah, I went back to cheddar temporarily. What's it to ya? That's okay, I don't need to worry about those. I think we've played really, really well on this run, and I'll call it like I see it, you know. We've had absolutely terrible runs that we've won, and of course, awful runs that we've lost as well, but this one, the run is not incredible so far. But I think my performance on the run is pretty good. Egg on the run, egg on the run. I don't know any other lyrics except for like, the Tailor Man and Sailor Sam were searching everyone for the egg on the run. Yeah, yeah, egg on the run. Ooh, ah, ah, ah. I can't do it. I'd be one of the guys in the karaoke compilation. You know the one. Dude singing Disturbed at karaoke, but they can't make the ooh, ah, 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 ah. That would be me. Well, it actually is me, except I would never choose that at karaoke because I already know that I can't make the sound. Okay, some static damage. I'm a happy man. Are you a happy cat, Tomo? I'm just turning you around because I feel like when you face the wall in my presence, it's kind of like an insult to me. Well, no world card here. Let me hydrate a little. Hello, Tomo. No, he just wants to sleep. That's fine. Let's try the downwards angle. Ooh, okay. I think I want a hermit card right off the bat. That way, I can buy one of these. Get the heck out of town. It is expensive considering it costs us damage as well, but worth it, dude. Absolutely worth it. Oh no, I turned this cat around and now it's all, you know what the most insulting thing a cat can do is? You touch it to give it some affection and then it licks its body. Like, you think your mouth is cleaner than my hands? I know that people are like, you don't understand how dirty your hands can be. You've been touching blah blah all day. You don't understand how dirty a cat's mouth is, man. I understand that they use it to clean themselves and generally speaking, they're clean animals. But I wash my hands on the regular, you know? This cat's mouth smells like a fish graveyard. It smells like an alien Daegu, South Korea on a hot summer day, and I would know. Help. Okay. Well, I certainly hope this is the right direction, because we're starting to... I mean, we're bleeding damage here. We really want combat on most of these rooms. Let's go! And the reason we want combat is because when we don't have combat, we lose money and we don't get anything out of it. We don't even get a chance for the sack of pennies to work, so... It's gonna be a long fight. It's one of those, like, marathon mom fights for sure. But we're way ahead of schedule if we were planning on doing, like, boss rush or anything like that. Which might be, like, fiscally sort of feasible, because it costs us maybe 1 cent or 0 cents on the way in. We'll get a lot of money out of it, but unless we get, like, you know, Brimstone or Mom's Knife, very unlikely for that to be the best thing for us right now. So I am happy we've gotten some damage upgrades, but we are still, you know, default speed, default rate of fire. Damage is good, admittedly, but with 10 rate of fire, it doesn't go as far as we'd like. We could really, really use some DPS or just any kind of, like, attribute, really, that's not range or shot speed or luck, ideally. Oh, it's gonna be a long one. Nope. Did you guys know Storage Wars is still on the air? I was losing my mind the other day. I was browsing the television. I go to A&E to see if they're playing 13 hours of Intervention in a row, so I got something to do. Nope. It's all Storage Wars, man. How is that show still on the air? Like, I think I need a documentary series about the people who are still watching Storage Wars in 2018. I understood back in 2012, you know? I thought Storage Wars was hilarious. It was very strange. It had a cast of kooky characters. They've all moved on. Who's still watching it? I understand every other show that's been on television for 100 years. If you watch, like, what am I trying to... If you watch Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, I completely get it. No joke. It's just something you can have on in the background. It's like low-impact entertainment, you know? You just go, oh, that looks good. You get like a little second-hand pleasure out of watch Guy Fieri stuff his face with like a, you know, soup dumpling burrito or something like that for the 500th time. Storage Wars, I literally do not get. It's just like... Oh, did I just discover something terrifying? Is it loot boxes for baby boomers? Wow, there was a Chesterfield in that one. Whoa, this Ottoman, 35 bucks. Play button from an old Walkman, 150 bucks right there. That's a cool $300 bill. Oh, this is boss rush. So those are like highly not worth it. I'm a little cheesed that we didn't get a devil deal with 72%. But you know, it is what it is. Moving on. I will definitely spend keys. Very nice. Starting to really feel the heat here. You know, we're 7 floors into the game. We're dealing with like a slight damage improvement relative to where we were on floor 1. Every other stat, roughly the same. Hold on. Tomo, if you would like to leave, that is your right as a sovereign individual. So I'm mostly just worried that I'm kind of being grinded down here. But we're still alive. 3 HP is not good, but also not 0. You gotta check this. Per throw. Actually pretty useful, because if we get a deal with the devil, we can hopefully reroll it into something that's going to be, like, actually useful instead of what our deals with the devil have been so far, which, apart from Book of Sin, which isn't even that good by itself, but they've been relatively not great. Just really... Oh, no, I'm getting closed in here. There we go. Make some space. Thank you. Just really, really interested in not losing the Spirit Heart, preserving our Devil Deal chance, getting almost any kind of DPS up, and then just cashing out of this run as soon as is possible with a win, because this one unexpectedly has gotten a little touchy. Money? Oh! I will even check for more money. And I shouldn't, but I will. Okay, pretty fly for a bomb. I think it's a good trade. Help. Just trying to really sneak in like any shot. Thank you. We did hit a dead end. And this is the kind of like injustice that I refuse to suffer for a long time, but considering we have no choice, I'll allow it. A lot of big rooms too. Not a lot of like heinous enemies, but a lot of big rooms. I'm lucky these enemies have low range. They must have picked up number 1. That's an Isaac joke for you. We don't tell too many of them. What did number 1 say to the range upgrade? Not today, old friend. It doesn't even... there's no punchline. The punchline is you recognizing that they're both related to range. Don't laugh at that. It didn't deserve it. Okay. Honestly, anytime we get the opportunity to trade a bomb for something plus a bomb, I'm over the friggin' moon. These bombs are becoming, like, increasingly valuable. Good lord. Just to help us sneak through rooms. I mean, we need to go through all of the cathedral as well. So this floor is actually possibly the game. It might not be the game as in giving us a guaranteed win, but I'm pretty confident it could give us a loss. Yeah. Help. All I mean by that is if we lose our deal with the devil, like we're in an actual lot of trouble. Which is, or if we lose our deal with the devil, 100% chance I should say. Which is why I'm actually excited to see Hairpin, because Hairpin could give us, well, it will give us Book of Sin, and Book of Sin could give us a Demon Heart or a Spirit Heart. It could also give us the kind of cards that we could use to just beat a boss without taking damage. We still got the 1 Spirit Heart backing us up. But this run is slowing down in a big way. In fact, it's slowing down so much that I actually am not confident we could even make the Hush fight. And I know that looks ridiculous now. We'll see what the deal with the devil holds. And we'll see whether this is absurd or alarmingly prescient. Please stop. Please, I beg you, sir, let me hit you in your vulnerable area. Halfway there. Haven't taken a hit yet. So far, so good. We're gonna make it. Definitely need this. Rate of fire up is huge. Okay, we have to reroll this. Okay, it became a familiar. A familiar that we can't choose, but might be happy with nonetheless. And Balls of Steel, very helpful. Alright, we're doing better now. At least our rate of fire is improved. But dude, this is still... I can't believe... Well, maybe the speed challenge you would probably say has still been harder. But this one has been way harder than I expected it to be. The speed challenge, I think it's dampened because you go in with expectations that it's going to be really tough. This one is just, you know, it started out more powerful than average. And it's just sort of like... It's been struggling to hit that escape velocity. Please. Demon Heart. I don't know, I think like it's requiring more focus than I ever would have expected. Here's my plan for the rest of this run. This is where we prove if we're clairvoyant. I have another bit about that. Don't let me forget it, okay? Little Brim, thank you. I think we get our deal with the devil. First off, I think we're going to fight Mom's heart on this floor, so if I'm right about that, I'm probably psychic. Secondly, I think we are going to get a deal with the devil. I think the deal with the devil is going to be dark matter. We're going to take it, and then on the next floor, we're going to get a very early World or Emperor card, and we're going to stomp. Prepare yourself. I've personally willed it into existence. So I have a question about psychics, and I don't want this to be... Like, here's the thing. I'm not 15, alright? So, like, I don't believe in... you know, the power of a horoscope to tell your future. I don't believe in psychics or, you know, haunted houses or anything along those lines. But I do have a genuine question. It's not designed to be like, oh, BTFO, psychics resigned, joy emoji. But like, if you're a psychic and you can actually, I guess it's, maybe there's a fundamental misunderstanding, in my opinion, of what a psychic does or claims to do. If you're a psychic and you can see the future, why do any psychics work? Why don't they just play the stock market and become like literal billionaires and hoard that power to themselves? There's literally like no explanation that I could think of that fits conventional means. Like, oh, well, maybe they want to help people. Well, if they want to help people, why don't they play the stock market, make a bunch of money, and then be a psychic for free for people in need instead of charging, you know, like, I don't know, 40 bucks an hour or something like that. I don't know how much a psychic charges, but I imagine it's up there. It's not the kind of thing where you're doing 8-hour contracts for people. I think. What do I know in the end? I have my fundamental personal belief. I used to be one of those guys for sure when I was in high school. That was like, and probably many of you watching this are like this, okay? It's like, you know, rationality above all. You know, he's still alive. I don't understand. You know the kind of people that are like, you know, they argue against everything irrational and they try to come across as being smarter than other people, and, you know, sometimes they say offensive things because they're like, well, you know, I don't want to offend you, but God's not real and stuff like that, you know. Definitely, I had a streak of that, although I'd like to think I never really hit that extreme level of perhaps annoyance back when I was younger. Now I have a very simple belief, which is basically like, you know, as long as you're a good person and, you know, you're not hurting people with what you do, it's okay. If you believe in psychics, I think you're in that camp, you know? If you are a psychic, I don't know, it depends. There's probably predatory psychics, you know? People that are, you know, they prey on people that are vulnerable, you know, like John Edwards style stuff. But, you know, it's a different story, I think, if you just consider it like an entertainment value sort of thing. Yo, let's go. So I'm genuinely not trying to be that guy. What I am trying to do, though, is just ask the question of, like, you know, why aren't you rich? I guess it's more like you don't actually see the future and then like comb through it. Instead, you're just like, oh, I got a vision of you on a gilded throne. That means like you'll be wealthy when you're older, and then, you know, something like that. I don't know, man. I'm not trying to be weird about it. I am trying to, you know, if possible, like, do some damage to the enemies. I'm having a hard time doing it. Please, Meat Boy, get in there. Get in there. Get in there. Thank you, thank you, thank you for the chew. Told you. Deal with the devil. Oh, no, thank you, sir. I would prefer not to. So, turns out I'm not a psychic. Fair enough. I did fight Mom's heart, but I don't know if that's enough. I don't know if that's enough to convince you. Help! I need somebody. My grandparents, well, not my grandparents, my grandmother was like, she was superstitious. She like read tea leaves and stuff like that. Just never really got into it. I sort of understand whenever she would do it and show me, it was like the same feeling you got when you were a kid and like somebody told you a scary story. It was like an adult is telling you that there's some kind of like eldritch force, and you're like, I believe it, because why would the adult lie to me? And they're not really lying to you. It's because they believe it. But, you know, it's like the same feeling I got when I would, like... I can imagine being, like, 13, or probably younger, actually, being, like, 10, and then seeing one of those movie trailers, like, for The Nun, that's, like, the ad was so scary, YouTube made us pull it, and being like, oh my god, this must be a movie that's so scary it could, like, kill people. Like, I genuinely believed that about the Blair Witch Project. I was like, this movie is so scary, it's giving people heart attacks in the movie theater. Whether true or otherwise, I don't know. Maybe it did, maybe it didn't. A lot of people out there with bad hearts, probably. Alright. Everything's okay. We only have to beat Isaac. What do you mean you can't see him anymore? There we go. How do we beat Isaac? Shoot him. Don't be afraid to place some bombs down on occasion, but you shoot him. You use your, you know, little delirium bombs. We got Incubus right now. Little delirium has come through in the clutch. This run, and we're almost in post-mortem territory. This run was genuinely hard. You know, if we had played 5% worse, we might have died. You know, the balance of our HP might have tipped. We might not have gotten the deal with the devil that allowed us to get that little delirium pickup, which is now proving so valuable. Oh my god, I have the itchiest nose I've ever experienced. It's because I shaved yesterday, man, and now all the, you know, the exposed pores are like, oh, itch it, itch it. Thank you. Alright, just don't blow this one, because, like, we're actually in a good spot now. It's itchy again already. I swear, man, face itches are like... Socially, they're the worst. You ever have that where you're like... Just inside of your nose is itchy? And you're like, well, I can't scratch it because I'm in public. People will think that I'm picking my nose. So I guess I'll just go insane from the discomfort. The alternative is if you have like an itchy cheek or something like that, people look at you like you're strung out on something. Like, nah, dude. I don't know what it is. I got like a little piece of stubble stuck in my nostril. It's like some of the most sensitive skin on the human body or something like that. Like, I'm not trying to... I don't think there's spider eggs under my skin. I'm just trying to not lose my mind here. Anyway, run went okay. 2 new pills have appeared. I'm glad it's over. What comes up next? Have a heart. Do not remember. Hopefully that means it's easy. For now, thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. It's a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. See ya! Follow me on Twitch. Twitch.tv/Northernlion. Be notified I want to go live in the future. Now we're done. See ya!